regional championships for the Rocket League Championship Series Season 2. These are the best teams in the world. That being said, get on Twitter, hashtag RLCS. Tell all your friends to tune in and watch because we have an amazing day in store for you. Again, the best Rocket League teams and players in the world. Without any further ado, let's get into the first best of 7. Again, single elimination, every single game, every single goal is incredibly important. It's Orbit versus Take 3. Without any further ado, let's go down to the field where Leaf and Lawler are standing by.
Once again, down at the beautiful DFA. It's always beautiful down at this stadium, packed to the brim right now. We have 4 teams altogether fighting it out, but 2 right now trying to be the best in NA for Season 2. It's going to be Orbit and Take 3. Lawler, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, and what a better way, no better way to start this day. We got the #1 seed in North America right now going against #4, battling it out, trying to make it into that next match. Single elimination, best of 7, every game counts.
This is tough. I mean, again, especially for Take 3 going up against a team that's already been pretty well-renowned going into Season 1, making it to LAN. They've had a taste of it, and I'm sure they want it again. Take 3 has to put absolutely everything into this, but Orbit can't get complacent. I think we have a really good match ahead of us.
Yeah, the benefit, too, is these rosters have been together for a very long time.
Absolutely.
Orbit, one of the best, and one of the benefits of staying together is that chemistry starts to develop. We saw it with Take 3, used to be known as Mocket, came together, stuck together after the season. Rizzo came back, and now he's back with a vengeance. He's been playing out of his mind these past 2 weeks, getting hot at the exact right moment with the help of Zane Jackie.
You're absolutely right. I mean, was a little bit of inconsistencies, but as the devs talked about, they were showing up in the past couple weeks, and if they can continue that on, Orbit has a fight ahead of them. But getting into game at #1, we have Orbit versus Take 3. Again, these 2 teams fighting to stay alive in this bracket to be the best in North America. As they get underway, an early goal will help either one of these teams start that momentum in the right direction.
Yeah, we talk about how important pace is in these 2 games. Whoever starts it off first, like you mentioned, is going to have a good time trying to secure this first match, which in the end will come down to it.
Rizzo is trying to keep this attack on as we see Take 3 with an early attack. A chance here for Insol. Will get blocked out by Turtle as they're really desperately trying to get that first goal. And that's very critical to showing Orbit that they have what it takes to fight against one of the previous LAN boys. See if they can actually follow through and finish off with a goal out of one of these plays here. Orbit slowly adjusting to their quick play at the beginning here, is starting to make some advances themselves. Turtle tries to get a second touch to put some power on past Rizzo. Can't quite. A shot. A rocket from Garrett just off the crossbar. Stopped out by the defense. Insol does get a clear on it, but Orbit does not let up, and Turtle will manage to put one in.
That's why this team is so dangerous. This clear coming out from Rizzo. Garrett's already up on the wall. Puts a rocket of a shot on that top right corner, barely saved, but because of that pressure, one after another, these guys put it on. So difficult to save.
And I think that's what Take 3's been trying to avoid. They kept the pressure on early because they knew the second they give Orbit a chance to put pressure on themselves, it's probably going to result in a goal, and it does. First minute of gameplay passed by, and Orbit is now up 1-0. In game #1 of this best of 7, we'll see if it can get answered by Take 3 quickly here as they try to create an attack, but weird positioning might cause them to have to push back past that midfield line as Orbit gets control. Turtle with a flick off the crossbar. Rizzo just getting a touch on that, keeps it away from Garrett as he was set up for a follow-through. Moses a third in, shot on net. Insol keeps that to the midfield. Rizzo a little late to that one. Will allow Orbit to keep the pressure on as they just do not let this ball pass midfield here at all. Managing to contest absolutely everything. Take 3 might finally have a chance.
Yeah, just like you said, contesting everything in that midfield, keeping the pressure on. Part of that's because of Take 3. Take 3 is giving them time to do that. But with these balls put in the net and around the net, like the pressure coming through, like Insol has been doing a much better job these past couple of weeks. And he's getting involved. That's what you want to see out of that last man. He's been looking kind of quiet, but as he gets more and more involved, it allows the confidence for these other players to come through.
Zane Jackie with a nice long clear. That Dominus nose putting one on target. It will force Garrett to keep that to the side. No more Batmobile for him. He's opted for the Octane today. It seems most of their team has. Traded it with Turtle. Turtle last in net, though. We'll have to flick this one away. Good play from him. St. Jackie was ready to capitalize on any mistake on defense from Orbit. They managed to hold it together. Now with control, they have a chance to flick it up. Moses with the flick. Turtle close behind. Garrett ready for a pass if they get one off the backboard. Turtle puts one on target instead. That will be stopped out by Rizzo. Fairly easy save.
That's dangerous from take 3, allowing one player, and it's Moses as well, their back man, who doesn't get enough love, able to dribble it past 2, draw 2 defenders, and then allow a shot on net. If Moses is doing that already, take 3 is going to have quite the bit to come on for.
Well, especially look at Orbit right now working on offense, making sure to get a lot of passing plays as they have to transition back to defense here. But when they do get control, it is a scary sight right now. Orbit is ready to play and ready to win, and they are showing it in their play style, but only 1 goal up. This could be tied up fairly quickly.
Well, it's good that you mentioned that. These guys didn't have to play last week, so in their downtime, we got the chance to talk to Go.
Whoa!
A shot coming from Zane Jackie.
Zane, what a rocket to tie that one up, as we just said.
Beautiful pass. Zane Jackie plays that, to the left. Unfortunately for them, it just completely catches everybody off guard. Another pass up. Zane with the recovery to get up after that hit and then get the goal himself. Like, Zane Jackie's going off. He's here to play.
Good awareness that ball was coming at him to grab it off the ground for a power shot. Throwing one hard into the net, all tied up. Past halfway in game number 1. Orbit's going to have to try a little bit harder. But again, the way they've been playing, they've been looking a little bit scary when they do get on offense. Fortunately for take 3, they have been able to hold that off so far. Defend on defense. We'll see if that can keep up. As Orbit takes control and tries to flick that towards the net. Garrett off the crossbar. Stopped out anyways. Good clear there coming up from Zane Jackie. Good attempt there, but that's going to be a goal for Rizzo. As the defense, Moses not able to get control of himself.
Orbit is putting on so much pressure, but it's leaving them, it's leaving them almost wide open on defense, something that's kind of uncharacteristic with how well Moses is. He actually misses that block. He goes up for something unconventional. Wide open net, Rizzo's just able to follow it up.
Unfortunately, a little bit of a whiff there on defense will set Orbit down by 1 goal with a minute approaching. We'll see if they can answer this quick. They have an open net here. Hard shot should go in. Fairly easy for Garrett. One of his more normal-looking goals, all tied up once again.
Yeah, Turtle probably could have had this shot, just plays it a little bit high with Rizzo coming in. But because of that, playing it off the backboard leaves a wide open net, draws that last defender out.
It's even smarter to do that. I mean, if you have one person in defense, just take them out. You got your teammates supporting for that backboard pass.
Yeah, and as easy as we say it is, I mean, it's very difficult because you don't know if someone's going to be able to contest that next shot. But having that trust, that chemistry with his teammate, knowing Garrett's always going to be there.
That and making those decisions that quickly in the heat of the moment, especially against a team like Take 3, that's a difficult situation, but they are tied up. 1 minute left here as Take 3 getting close to creating an attack. No scoring opportunity does come out of that. Orbit back on defense. Moses will have to rotate back. Garrett takes control. Up quick to get that one off the wall with a self-pass. Rizzo now out of the play. Insole left to try to get that one to Zane Jackie. Is intercepted by Turtle at midfield as Orbit takes control once again. Very good at regaining possession of this ball so far in this game. That's what's kept them alive, but they do need 1 more goal to pull themselves in the lead. 20 seconds remaining in this match, and we may potentially see an overtime unless Orbit can capitalize on this attack right here. Turtle by himself. No, don't. Okay. I thought he was going to do one of those Moy moments right there as they tried to put one in. 7 seconds left, and we are looking like it's going to be an overtime as Insole tries one last attempt at a scoring opportunity. Moses to drop it down. That won't touch the ground. Game number 1, Orbit and Take 3. First one of the regional championships here, and we're going into an overtime already.
It just goes to show how well Take 3 is adapting. They came out so well in the first couple of weeks.
That
shot coming across. What a save by Insole.
So close there. Insole just takes that one away. The dream was almost alive for Moses to put a quick one off the crossbar. Can't quite do, though, and they will have to try again from their own end. But Turtle with a flick. That's going to be it. What a good shot from Turtle from the midfield.
This read from Turtle off that wall, he just had it. Like, he went up to make a contest on Zane Jackie on that corner. Zane Jackie doesn't get it, so Turtle recorrects. He feathers the boost just enough to get the hit upfield, follows it up, lands perfectly on the wall, carries momentum all the way through, and then that just split-second touch over the top. One play after another, Turtle is securing this win for Orbit.
And they look happy about that one there. And again, that Batmobile is so good at any type of flick. And we see Turtle showing us exactly why he's using that car right now. What a beautiful way to finish it off into an overtime. But that was a close match. We are not to count out Take 3 by any means. Way lower on the scoreboard for shots, but their score was the same. And that's really all that matters in the end, is making sure you have a close score like that.
Well, I wouldn't say lower on shots for per se. Like Garrett and Turtle both had 7.
No, I'm talking about take 3.
Yeah.
But they still kept it
like,
close.
Shots-wise, like, there was a ton of shots coming out, and you saw that aggression early on. The amount of pressure that they were putting in that first couple of minutes, where it's just one after another, Garrett came in, put it right back in off the wall, and then they just keep applying this pressure. But as soon as take 3, and credit goes to them, as soon as they transition that up, they're making these shots count. That was something they were missing in those weeks like 2, 3, 4, where they just didn't come together at the end. They had the pressure, it just didn't result in any goals, and they're starting to do that. They're looking hot.
Yeah, well, the second they find a breakthrough onto the defensive orbit, they're scoring and they're capitalizing on it. Again, lower shots, but they still had the same amount of goals. They're doing a very good job of taking those opportunities when they have them. The issue is Orbit is so good at regaining, and I said it before, that possession of the ball and transitioning right back onto attack. That's why they had so many shots themselves. It's incredible to see both these teams' play styles try to battle it out, and they're so close. Game number 1 into an overtime, and we come down to game number 2, I expect very similar results. Orbit taking the first one, take 3, looking to pull themselves back in the series. It's a best of 7. They have some time to do so, but you don't want to get too far behind in the series. Otherwise, that becomes not only a physical challenge, but a mental challenge to keep yourself in the game at that point. It's Orbit looking to get the first early goal here. Rizzo in a scary spot, having both Garrett and Moses on his tail, but unfortunately, they aren't able to capitalize on anything. That will be a good chance for take 3 to fix up their defense here and try to break out. Breaking past that midfield line is going to be the key thing here, but a demo. What a placement from Moses, finds the smallest corner to thread that one through.
And it's so unfortunate as well for take 3. Insel played it really smart. He let the ball settle. He dribbled it in the inside of the field to give them a chance to move it up. It's just this pressure yet again from Orbit. They meet him at the middle. They contest it, put it back, and then as soon as that 50-50 goes off, there's a shot on net, and that placement for Moses, like you said, bottom right, and it sneaks right by.
That was a snipe show. Absolutely incredible. And they put an early one in for Orbit. We'll see if we can answer quick. Rizzo almost had a chance there, or Insol, sorry, as they almost tied that one up very quickly. Still in the first minute of gameplay, Orbit back on attack, but a missed pass from Turtle will be into the hands of Rizzo. Garrett to back off, good communication, allowing Moses to move in on that one as they try to steal back possession, watching for any mistakes on touches from take 3 here. They are keeping the pressure on in the corner. Insol, Rizzo have to be careful here. They could give up a ball to Moses. He is watching patiently. And every single touch Orbit is getting right now is thought out so well and working out for their team so incredibly well.
Yeah, they're just trying to keep that pressure on, and it's a matter of like allowing Moses to get those touches. I mean, as soon as he lands, maintains the momentum, jumps off, gets another one, and it's just that maintain of possession allows these players like Turtle and Garrett to just sit back, survey what's going on, and then apply that pressure. And when you get that much time with a shot like that from Garrett, what is that placement coming off the wall?
He just fires that one so hard, taking the pinch off Zane Jackie.
Yeah, like Zane Jackie does a good job. He tries to come off the wall and get a nose on it. But because of that pressure that we're talking about, Garrett's literally just sitting on the wall, just waiting and waiting and waiting. And when Garrett gets that much time, that's when you're going to hear, oh my Garrett.
Well, you're right.
Time.
He's forcing his opponent into making a move and just capitalize and say, well, you have to hit it here. I'm going to put it in your net. Incredible patience from Garrett. And they put themselves up 2-0 now. With 3 minutes left, Zane Jackie on the attack. A back pass to nobody will go into the hands of Garrett. Insol has to be super careful here. A bad touch could result in a goal. He does manage to get to the side and a follow-through off the wall. There's Rizzo to keep the momentum moving forward as Turtle and Garrett have rotated back to defense. Good Spider-Man touch from Turtle. Keeps that one from the slot. Rizzo's there to keep the pressure on. Zane out to no one again. Insol once again in the wrong spot for a back pass. They will have to try again from defense if they can keep it out. Rizzo, clutch save to keep them in the game. 2.5 minutes left in game number 2, and Orbit still sits in the lead both in the series and in this game.
You see these guys again. You look at the way that they chip the ball up. They're using that backward so very well. Something we see on the European side from Northern Gaming quite a bit. But they're just doing it to draw out a defender one after another, and it seems to be working. You now look, 1v3 situation, Rizzo's in trouble.
He does get the backflip, though, to keep that one out, and a second one with patience from Turtle. But their attacks die out so quickly. They will move on to offense, but just no forecheck keeps them moving back to defense like this and giving Orbit those chances to score on their net. Turtle trying for an air dribble. Zane Jackie just gets a little bit of a booty touch to keep that one away, saying, I don't think so, buddy. We're going to try to get a goal ourselves as we move on to offense. Rizzo with a pass to Zane in front of the net. Turtle intercepting that one quickly. Good play from him. And once again, the offense dying out so quickly from take 3, they can't seem to keep control when they move onto that forecheck.
I mean, Orbit has a reason as why they're number 1, and just the way they do it. Other than that mistake from Moses, even with all this pressure, they hustle back onto defense so well. But take 3 doing a good job trying to stay within this. A minute 20 left, and they're still only down by 2.
Garrett trying to take that one away from Insole. He will manage to get to the side, but possession goes over to take 3. We'll see if they can manage to keep an attack on here. No, as Moses gets a nice chip and quickly clears that one in front of the net. Turtle trying to finish it. Rizzo was in the way. The Octane beating out the Batmobile. Will manage to put that past the midfield, but Garrett, once again, these guys so quick on their back rotations, able to put the pressure on at midfield so hard. Take 3 having difficulty of breaking out of their own end, and with 1 minute left, they have 2 goals still yet to climb. 2 unanswered goals in game number 2. And it doesn't look like they're going to be getting one anytime soon, as they are not able to break and stay on offense.
No, part of that's because of the way Orbit's controlling this pace. Everything they want to do is being done. Nothing is being stopped in the aspect of Orbit's pressure. They're just reacting and trying to make a safe clear out, but every single time they go to do that, it's met by Orbit. Orbit puts on the pressure. They control the pace down the midfield. But in those small circumstances that Take 3 gets it, they just have that glimpse of like, all right, these guys can be super strong. But then Orbit shuts it down right again. They know what they need to do to win this match.
And so we'll try to get one here, but gets beaten out by Turtle. There's a shot on net. They have 1 goal left, 12 seconds. It is still possible. They absolutely needed that goal.
Yeah, you see Turtle trying to play that downfield. It gets played horizontally instead and just settles right in front of Rizzo. Rizzo taking that power shot as soon as it bounces off the ground and places it very well on that far post, making it very difficult to save.
Not entirely sure where that third was for Orbit. Either way, it doesn't matter. They wasn't in the net. Now there's 1 goal left. Rizzo is on attack. Moses has to clear this one out, but a miss. But no one there, no pressure at all, and you feel like that's the moment to have everyone committed.
Yeah, I mean, when you're down by 1, you have nothing really to lose. Like, you either put in the net and tied up or you lose the match. And you saw what happened. Nobody was there, like you said. Where's the follow-up? And it drops down.
Yeah, it's great, but again, these guys looking happy at this point. We'll see if they can keep this up. I mean, 2 wins in a row. They're feeling the momentum. Rocket League, very momentum-based game, but that applies individually to each game as well. So it's we'll see if they can keep that up. Right. I mean, they're showing to be pretty dominant. Take 3 could not break out of their own end. Hopefully coming down into Manfield, they'll be able to do that. But, I mean, it's tough right now.
Yeah, I mean, you see the difference, too. The shots obviously not as high that match. Take 3 starting to change it up a little bit, but it's still, Orbit just maintains the possession of this game. And it's crazy to see it because, you know, during the downtime, like Orbit, like I mentioned, they have had technically 2 weeks off in a sense. They got that big, long break, but they made sure, and that's something that makes this Orbit team so good, is the amount of practice they put in. They're making sure to scrim nonstop every single day, and it pays off. You look how well they play together, despite, it's like they haven't missed a beat. They've been playing all week.
Absolutely. So coming into this next match then, I mean, we see Take 3 having those chances. Like, they were getting shots on net, and it's actually fairly close for shots between these 2 teams. But they're not staying on offense. What do they have to do to make sure Orbit doesn't kick them out of their own end quickly?
They need to maintain that possession. As soon as the ball gets played on the other side of the field, where's the follow-up? You even saw it at the end there. Even when there's times that they can score that ball, they need to capitalize on those small mistakes that Orbit very rarely does, to be completely honest. But they need to be smarter about it. Like you saw it, like there's 5 seconds left. Why is everybody not in the box? You either score and you tie it up, or you lose another goal, and you're done either way. So they need to just play smarter.
And maybe more aggressive. Oh my goodness. Off the bat, before we can even say anything, Orbit sinks one in without Take 3 even looking.
No, and part of that's a mistake. They went to pinch that up. I think it was Insole trying to get a big clear immediately, and it hit the back left of his car instead of the top right, and it rockets back in front of Rizzo. Rizzo's just not ready for it.
It's so hard because you don't expect those kind of touches, and just an unfortunate mistake coming up from Take 3 puts them already down at goal within the first 3 seconds of this, but a quick answer, and it doesn't matter.
Where's Take 3 like this the whole match? Like, you talk about quick responses. Why don't they start with these? Like, don't be the response. Be the one who starts it out. Like, start that conversation of aggression.
Rizzo's like, hey, this is how you pinch the ball off the wall, and gets that one out to Zane Jackie instead. And maybe that's how they should do it from now on, because they just tied that up super quick. Within 10 seconds, we're back to exactly where we were at the beginning of this match, which was only 20 seconds ago. And they quickly change that again. Insole with another quick one. A rapid-fire goal is coming out.
Playing fast. You see Zanejacki get up and just beat out this defense. Turtle's just trying to fall and do something, but not able to get there in time with the shot coming in. This quick aggression, it just suits Take 3. Usually they're a more defensive counterattack team. They're like, their defensive rotations are usually pretty solid. But why just play this quick pace? It's so dangerous.
Well, it's now up to Orbit to answer this one back. We'll see if they can get it within the next 30 seconds to make that 4 goals in a minute. Or if it's going to take them a little longer, if Take 3 can hold them off. Insole tries to get to Rizzo. It does. Turtle with a miss. Garrett, last one left in net. Rizzo trying to get a bit of a mind game. Doesn't quite work out for him. That will go into the hands of Orbit. Good passing play from them. Shot going a little bit wide, though, but they will start the boot. Look at that. Orbit and Garrett both going for those corner boosts to start the boost rotation starvation. Incredible, and that just destroys the defense from Take 3.
All these guys are just dying here. You see Rizzo, he takes a touch up, and it's in a dangerous spot, so what does he do? He jumps up and just tries to put his body in the way. The issue is that uses so much boost, and when you have, like you said, these two guys, they sweep in and just a solid motion. Completely denied. Like, it's such a good idea because even if they don't get that initial hit, eventually they're going to succeed a goal.
Well, we'll see if another one can go in. 4 goals, in the first minute of gameplay here. All tied up once again, 2-2. Very eventful match so far. Orbit seems to have found their footing. We'll see if they can keep that up. It might be a scary situation for Take 3 now. They will have to make a quick move here. Try to get themselves back into the lead instead of trying to fight themselves back to an even game. Orbit can score. Orbit does have possession, and we'll try to roll us past midfield. Orbit now with possession. Moses couldn't get it past Zanejacki, though. He stuffs that one out, but Garrett with a shot on net. Good rotations coming up from Take 3. Managed to keep that one away from the box and at the midfield line here as they stop any kind of attack from Orbit, but it doesn't stop yet. Zanejacki, good touch to the side.
Unfortunate characteristic as well coming out of Garrett there. That shot was placed way too high, and it's just not like him. Usually he puts those on net perfectly, but still the pressure coming out. The only issue is Take 3 looks poised and ready to make some saves.
Ooh, a little bit of overcommittance here. Thankfully for Turtle, Rizzo was a little bit too far off from that ball. Couldn't pressure it enough. A hustle back from Turtle. Keeps himself in possession of that, but a low flick from the Batmobile sets that one up for Insole, but he loses that quickly to Moses. As Take 3 tries to break down towards Orbit's end. Still tied up, approaching the halfway mark. Zanejacki not getting the double touch. Rizzo trying to help him out. There's Insole up for pressure, but a little bit too late. Turtle does push that back down, and again, Take 3 having difficulty staying on offense here. We'll see if they can do that coming in the second half of this game. Game number 3, Orbit is up 2-0 in the series. Having to win 4 games, they're already in a good spot, but Rizzo just finds a nice, easy lob and puts them ahead.
Yeah, it just looks like these guys are ready for this. Rizzo sees Moses cheating up a little bit to go for that contest, but because he's keeping that ball so close to his cart, takes a quick touch over to the left, uses that wall to play it back into himself, and then flicks it over. Even if he's not there for the shot, he's got a teammate ready to follow it up. Good decision-making, good plays coming out of Take 3, putting them up by 1.
As you said, up by 1 with 2 minutes left now, as they try to take the first point in the series for their team. See if they can hold it off there, but Garrett with a good contest almost puts that on target, a little bit to the side. Orbit contesting everything on offense here as they try to pull back to a tie game. They're the ones having to try to even this one up now. Take 3 just has to hold off the lead for another minute 50. See if they can do it here as they rotate back to defense. Garrett with a soft touch. Turtle, Garrett by themselves as a demo comes out. Moses finally back in the game there, but 3 people in net. Can they stop it? Insole with a clutch save as all 3 were ready for any kind of attack there. Still a scary spot to be in.
Yeah, it's that dangerous spot that we talk about Take 3 so good at. They pack that box and make save after save. The only issue is you're playing against Orbit, and you know they're going to keep applying these shots, but they're doing a fantastic job.
That could make it in there. Rizzo couldn't get enough power himself, but Insole keeping the pressure on, puts one away and extends their lead.
To hold off all those shots and then transition it downfield and make it count makes it so difficult to come back from. Even with all 3 players, like they are literally sitting at that goal line just waiting for that ball. Really well done by Take 3.
Rizzo so absolutely critical on offense there. A little bit of a mind game. Instead of the shot himself, sets up his teammates, and that results in another goal. Very good play from Rizzo to keep that going on. Before 2 now, Orbit down 2 goals. They do sit in the lead in the series, but you want to try to take this as quickly as possible. Take Three putting up a good fight now. If they can hold this off for the last minute of gameplay here, they will have themselves a point in the scoreboard. Can they get another one? Soft shot there, Garrett. Almost putting that in his own net, but that does set it up for Turtle. Turtle Moses up for a shot, trying to get a team pinch towards the net. Still a chance here. Moses off the backboard, puts that out of his own reach, but Garrett with a shot on. 1 goal left now for them to climb back to an even game in 43 seconds.
So much confusion going on. You see one player with Turtle bump into another, nobody back in net, and then Turtle yet again with another bump getting in front of Zane, who's trying to rotate back in. Just one after another, and a couple of those shots just looked so unpredictable because you see all these players like zipping in and forth between the ball, like who's going for it? I don't know what happened. It just creates a bunch of chaos, and they almost tied up.
They almost, as you said, Moses and Turtle going for another team. That's twice now. They're trying to get these unpredictable team pinches and almost getting them each time to put them in the net. They need one more goal, and I'm sure we'll see a little bit better pressure than we saw from Take Three coming into this final one.
All
Orbit
two players up.
knows what they have to do. A shot wide. Turtle keeping the pressure on. As I said, this is the pressure, all three on offense. But they do have to make sure that they do not give up a goal by doing this. 12 seconds left. The drop in front of the net. Zane Jackie keeps it away, but a bad positioning on defense. Almost squeezing it in. Turtle with the last attempt. Almost was able to get that one. The Take Three defense holding off so well. So clutch for them. And they're going to be able to take game in number 3. Maybe they can get another one. Unless this gets turned around. I don't want to say anything yet, but as soon as that ball touches the ground, Take Three will finally take it, and they get themselves a point in the series. They are not giving up yet. Now 2-1 in this best of 7. Take Three is still in it.
Yeah, they well deserve that goal. Like, you saw how well, like, they bring up the lead, they start applying pressure, they counterattack very fast. One goal goes in, they immediately respond, and then the momentum shift after that to get another goal immediately after they answer that. You saw it was like within 30 seconds, goal after goal, but then they maintain that lead. That's something that they've always had issues with, is once they get up, they always allow these teams to slowly climb back, but able to hold off of it. Not easy to do against a team like Orbit.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. And they look like they started to fix mistakes. When they were able to grab that lead, they kept it. And that was I think, absolutely critical for them, being able to get back early on.
Right.
We had 3 goals within 30 seconds. 2 of them going to Take Three, and I think that was absolutely critical in helping them keep that mentality of, okay, guys, we can do this. Even when it got tied up, they knew one more goal would put them into the lead instead of having to try to climb back to a lead by Orbit. So I think just having that lead early on is what Take Three really needs to look into this next game, into game number 4, if they want to stay alive in this series and have the right mindset.
Right. When we talk about that possession game and maintaining the pace and controlling that pace, that's exactly what we're talking about, is playing really fast, being aggressive, getting in the face of these guys and making them react to your shots rather than you reacting to theirs. There was a couple times where that went back and forth in that match where, okay, they came out really strong, they scored, they went up by a little bit, and then they just packed the boxes shot after shot. But after those shots happened, the way they were able to transition down on the field, create some misdirection, and then put another goal on, it's exactly what this Take Three team needs to do to stop this Orbit squad.
Well, we'll see. Orbit did have a bit of a taste of some very strong offense at the last of that last one as they tried to pull themselves back in the game. And I think that might be something that carries over into game number 4. We'll see if Take Three can adapt to that one quickly, but Orbit with the upper hand now, up 2-1 in the series. Almost getting that passing play. And this is what I'm saying, they will definitely be aggressive, very aggressive to get that first goal.
Well, for Orbit, like, that pass play looked so good, I almost thought he was going to get it because of the way they were spaced out. A clear to the right, passed right back to the left, and then a shot could have been on net. It's just, even when they're rotating back on defense, these guys are just so ready to counterattack and make a shot.
Stopping out an attack there from Orbit, but a shot on target. The placement strong from Turtle, but Rizzo was able to get there in time. Getting in front of that laser, keeps that one out. We have Turtle and Moses out of the play. Garrett, last one in net, scary spot. Rizzo a little bit too far forward to make anything happen out of that passing play there, but Zane Jackie ready to keep the dream alive. They keep the pressure on here, and they've got Orbit in a weird spot now. Only Turtle in net. Insole trying to just reset up another play. Maybe a smart idea there, but maybe gives a little bit too much time to Orbit as they will move back down into their own end. Take Three having to break out once again. Still scoreless, though. Heck of a lot of less goals than we saw in game number 3.
Well, it's actually really smart by Take Three. You talk about how they rotated back to give themselves another chance. All 3 of them were above that half line, and in any big clears, they would have been in trouble. Rather than trying to force something, rather than trying to go for a pinch and see what happens from it, they'll rotate back, they collect boost, collect themselves, and then come back at it. Really good decision-making coming from Take Three to keep this tied.
Good pass from Rizzo there to Insole. Almost, what? Did he get that touch too?
Yeah,
Can
he
put
did.
that
Oh,
in?
no, off the crossbar.
So close. That would have been a highlight material right there if they'd been able to put that one in. But it turns around and they give a goal. They were so eager to get that goal, and they give up one instead.
You need to make those shots. Hitting the crossbar twice. Obviously, that pinch off the top, I didn't think that was going to go in. I'm surprised it even happened. But having that shot and then hitting the crossbar and then no follow-up after that, allowing it to bring it all the way to the other side of the field, that's got to be rough.
Well, it's not that there was no follow-up. It was a late follow-up, and they gave up all defense that they had, overcommitted, and gave a goal away to Orbit. And now they find themselves having to climb, and this is where we talked about Take 3. We don't want them mentally if they want to be able to stay in this. Orbit now has the upper hand in this game and in this series. If they can pull away to 3-1 in the lead, that'll be match point. But with 2.5 minutes left, Take 3 is not out of this yet. One goal will pull them back in the series. We've seen them answer quick, but they got to make sure they don't give up another goal. Scary spot on defense for them. Moses keeping the onslaught on, and there it is, a shot, extending their lead 2-0.
Rizzo was following that for so long, just trying to make a play, trying to make sure he's going for the right contest, and just going back one side and one to the other, and that's an issue. He's doing a little bit of ball chasing on that. He needs to get into a position on defense and then attack, make a play, and if it doesn't work out, at least you still have your teammates behind you to follow up. He was ball chasing that entire time for like 15 seconds.
You're right. Sometimes you just got to hit the brakes and say, all right, this is where I need to be, and then get that ball cleared out. Unfortunately, Rizzo couldn't do that, and they will be down 2-0. 2.5 minutes left, though, still a lot of time for them to pull it back, especially if they get a play started up like this. Rizzo a little bit too late. Turtle will keep that one away from the slot. No scoring opportunity for Take 3 there. Good clear there coming out from Moses, I believe it was, or Turtle. And a shot on net. It was Turtle that got the clear, and Moses follows it up with a nice angle.
Moses looking so confident, just not afraid to leave that back line as he's normally the defensive guy. And he just puts a shot on net, getting a tight angle, playing that across. Even if that hits the wall or the backboard, you know Garrett and Turtle are going to be there to follow it up.
While Turtle with such an incredible clear caught that rotation
that
from Take 3
right
off.
over the top.
You know, as Take 3, you're in no position to rotate back to defense. Moses capitalized on that, saw his opportunity, and now they're 3-0 in the lead. Very, very smart play coming out from Orbit, and that's why they find themselves winning game at number 4 in this best of 7 here. And Take 3 struggling to get a single goal in this game. See if they can do that now. They are moving on to attack, but they don't have possession of the ball, and that's going to go right back to Turtle. Up to Garrett with a shot off the backboard. No finish from Turtle, though. A little bit too far of a pass. Moses, not the best touch he could have gotten. Zane has a chance to put that on target. Rizzo, the only one with a chance now, and they couldn't capitalize. They had a shot on net and a scoring opportunity, and no finish to it.
No, and part of the reason, oh my goodness, another one.
And now Orbit just extending their lead. They're seeing that Take 3 is getting desperate,
well, okay.
and they're pushing.
I don't know if you saw that, but Turtle baited that hit. That ball was moving perfectly with him towards the middle of the goal. He cuts into it, baits it, goes around so the ball plays through right to the other side, and then puts a shot back inside. Really just mind-gaming the heck out of that defense.
Everything that Orbit is doing right now is showing exactly why they're in the lead, and it's so clear in game number 4 that they are winning this one. If they win this one, we will be at match point. Take 3 is still fighting, though. We have 1 minute left for them to get 4 goals. Very hard battle, and I think at this point it might be best for them to look at game number 5.
Yeah, at a certain point, when you're down by this much, it's very difficult to climb back against a team like Orbit, even more so. But at the same time, this is when they need to start implementing, okay, what do we want to do into the next match? Are we going to try a different type of pressure? Let's implement that now. We've got 40 seconds to try it out, see if it comes together. And if so, yes, let's implement it. It's basically risk-free right now, other than the fact that, obviously, this match probably going in the favor of Orbit.
Well, as you said, I mean, that still makes it risk-free at this point if they expect a loss on this one. But they're not going to give up. They will try, but you're right. Looking at what they have to do in the next one and what went wrong here, and there were quite a few things, they're going to have to make those adjustments because it is do or die at this point. With 15 seconds left, this is going to Orbit, and Orbit will sit at match point now. 3-1 in this series. One more win will put them at a 4-1. And Take 3 doing better than Dest expected. The Dest expecting a complete sweep.
Some of the guys on the desk did say 4-1. I think they both said 4-1, actually.
Oh, maybe it was before we were talking.
So of course
they changed their mind.
Of course they have to be right. That's how it works.
Come on, Take 3. Make it 4-2.
No, I think we both agree. I mean, it definitely seems to be a positioning thing. I mean, Take 3, as soon as they get that pressure applied to them, they just try to force something to happen rather than sticking to what has been working for them. They apply that pressure, they look so very strong, and then they're able close a win out of it after that follow-up comes into play. When they're playing that aggressive role, they dictate what's happening, and then they get that comfortability, and they don't have to just think so much about, like, okay, do I make a save on this? What do I do? They just play naturally, and that's something that's weird about Take-3. They don't scrim. They don't play as well, and that's coming from them, their words. We don't play as well when we scrim. So
well, maybe they need to look into it now because they're playing against a team that does, and Orbit is showing it. I mean, everything they're doing is thought out well. Again, even with that turtle touch from midfield, to break any kind of rotation and catch your opponents off guard, that's stuff that you need to work out before and have one of your teammates aware. Moses, at that point, the second the turtle got that touch, was rushing down onto offense to get that long touch and get a good angle on it, catching the defense off guard. That's the stuff that you need to practice in scrims, and that's why it is so important to work as a team and have talks throughout the week, be practicing, and it shows for Orbit. Now they have one more game to take it and Take-3 in a very bad spot. Against this. They're down 3-1 in this series.
Well, and it's obviously not everything works for the same teams as it does for others. So maybe it has been, I mean, obviously they've been playing a lot better the past couple of weeks, but they are playing the number 1 team in NA right now, based upon seeding and power rankings and all that kind of information. But it's so difficult to read this team when even you see, okay, he's rushing downfield, he needs to make a touch because I'm contesting him, but then he baits it out and brings past. Like, it's very difficult to try to match that.
Game at number 5 now, match point Orbit. If they win this game, they will be moving on in this bracket. Take-3 will be eliminated from this, but they are still going to land. So there's that. You can walk away with that, but you want to be the best in North America, and that's what these teams are fighting for right now.
And money.
And a good amount of wallet.
Yeah, money's cool.
Good amount of wallet coming out of it too. And Orbit looking to take that one pretty convincingly with a 4-1 win. Take-3 trying to fight back. Still scoreless in the first minute of gameplay here in game number 5 as Take-3 tries to mount their comeback and pull this one back for a win themselves. Rizzo keeping an attack off from Orbit, but quick pressure from Garrett keeps it alive. Good clear from Zane. Jackie sends that one the other way. Now on the backside we have Orbit trying to stop any attack here from Take-3, and it seemed fairly easy there. Insole backing off pretty quickly, as well as Rizzo. And no pressure at the midfield will allow Orbit to eventually break out for an attack here. Good turnaround and fall through from Garrett in front of the net. Turtle beaten out by Rizzo. That will send back down into Orbit's end. Very close call there for Take-3, and good touch from Rizzo.
Yeah, differences between these two teams as well. You see Take-3 put a clear on. Orbit's already up on the wall, plays it right back in. But rather than you seeing Take-3 put it back towards and see that ping pong action, it doesn't matter. There is someone on this Orbit team ready and up to make another touch to beat out a defender. That's the possession game we're talking about. Take-3 just seems to not have that unless they're the ones playing super aggressive, but it leaves them wide open on defense.
And that's absolutely why wall play is so important. It just gives you those options to attack from anywhere and be able to stop. It goes on the wall, you're there. It goes out, jump off, and aerial it. Very, very good good call on that one, and that's why Orbit has been able to keep up this midfield pressure. Absolutely. 3 minutes left now, and still 0-0. Good back passing from Turtle. Team rotates himself into net. Moses with a good clear here. We'll see if they can create an attack out of this, or if Insole will be able to air dribble that one past the midfield. He does, but quickly stopped out by Moses. Ping pong here. Rizzo puts that onto attack. Can't create any kind of passing chance there. That will go back into the hands of Orbit. Once again, Take-3 a little rough on offense, losing out possession very quickly, time and time again. Still 0-0 though, and that's a pretty good place to be because you're not losing at this point. 2.5 minutes left. Both teams still looking to get that first goal.
Yeah, Take-3 looking for someone to step up. You see how well everybody on Orbit is putting and getting involved. Moses even playing downfield a little bit more than normal and making some very good touches to bring it on the other side. But Take-3, like Zane Jackie's actually been pretty quiet this series. It's kind of weird.
2 minutes left here. We'll see. Rizzo can starting something up here. He's a little confused on the wall, giving Orbit a lot of time to set up an attack. Figure what they want to do here. You don't want to give your opponents that much time to think. Otherwise, they're going to figure out what you're doing. They do thusly. Turtle turns that one around with a high clear. Missed the boost, though, so he will back off. Boost is priority here to starve out. Good touch up from Turtle, but Garrett a little bit too far forward. Trying to go for bumps instead, allowing Moses to move in. It will sit at the midfield line here as Take-3 makes an attack. A minute 30 left, still scoreless in game number 5. Take-3 holding off the attack here, but all it takes is one goal for Orbit to pull ahead into the lead. Take-3 knows that's all it takes them as well, though. We'll see if they can get one right here as they try to transition back on offense.
That's got to be so frustrating for Take 3. They're maintaining that possession finally on offense. So what does Moses do? Well, your rotations look too good. Let me take you out of it. And he just bumps that third man completely out. It kills the entire rotation. And now Orbit's back on offense, and they get a shot on net.
By 2, but not the third. The defense coming out clutch from Take 3, keeping themselves alive with a long shot. 1 minute remaining. And they almost countered that one into a goal. Would have been a great turnaround. Fortunately, they couldn't get that one in the back of the net. Orbit now trying again. Good back pass there. Garrett flicks that one high up into the air as Moses just tries to confuse the defense, and it works.
From Garrett.
And Garrett with a lob to the far side puts the first one in. Now Take 3 has to scramble.
Good idea by Moses trying to go up and put a flick on inside, but because he doesn't get it, that defender stays cemented down. But then that angle from Garrett gets up and flicks that top right. Like, Garrett, you're insane.
We already know this. 35, wow, 35 seconds left. Seconds left. For Take 3
to
pull this one
man.
back. I'm just so excited. My voice can't handle it. Wow. Garrett, we'll keep this one away. We'll see if Take 3 can tie this one up. 20 seconds left now for them to get a chance here. Zane Jackie gets it past Garrett. A second touchdown to no one there, but they do have possession. Insole off the back wall. Rizzo has to pressure hard, but he knows Moses will get that Spider-Man touch. To the far side, Rizzo trying to pressure hard here. This is it. If they do not get a goal, they are eliminated, and Orbit will move on in the bracket. One step closer to being the best in North America, but it's not over yet. Insole with a high flick. Garrett trying to kill it. He lets it drop, and that's it. Orbit will take this series 4-1 against Take 3 fairly convincingly as well.
Phenomenal call by the desk as well. Both those guys calling it 4-1 in favor of Orbit. But you see why, like, this team is number one. They're looking so strong. Just every little minute detail coming together to make such a huge difference. Just those small extra touches, like recognizing immediately, guys, this rotation's coming in super strong. What do we do? Stop it. Okay. Bumps the guy out of the way. Just these small little things that add up. Orbit looking phenomenal.
They're strong. Everything they did was calculated. They had a plan for every kind of counterattack, and that's why Take 3 had a very difficult time staying on offense. But, I mean, incredible series. Take 3 did their best. Orbit walks away with the win, 4-1. And while I go figure out my voice problems, we're going to go back to the desk and see what they thought about that match.
Thank you, Leaf and Lawler, and good job, dudes. 4-1 there for Orbit, looking incredibly well, getting off to a very hot start here at the Regional Championships. Let's take another look at that one in the form of your Mobile One High Performance Replay.
James, Take 3, they tried. They tried their very best. This first game was a little rough for them, giving up 15 shots, but their defense and the pass from Rizzo.
But this play right here, you see there on Turtle's first hit, he never stopped boosting, and he followed that play, surprising the defense. But like you're saying, it seemed like Take 3, we might have been able to see that Rizzo-Zane Jackie connection. They did have some good plays. I thought Rizzo played really well on defense, denying a lot of backboard plays, but Orbit's offense was just too overpowering, and they controlled the entire series.
That game one was a heartbreaker to lose in overtime. Like, after defending so many shots on your end, Take 3 needed that win to stay alive in this series, because we all know that Orbit knows how to play. They outshot Take 3 47-29, and you're not going to win a best-of-7 series that way. You need to get some more shots on the board. Take 3 had to let Orbit come at them, because they were doing a great job of mitigating risk by just going like, all right, I have no boost. I'm going to go back on defense, and I'll let the other two make the play. And Moses was getting involved a lot.
Well, just in general, their spacing was just so on point. A lot of like, if you get too close, if your spacing is too close together, a lot of times you'll miss balls. They'll go right over your head. You'll be forced to play defense. Or if you give too much space, a lot of times you'll be on the back foot playing defense out of your half most of the time. What Orbit did beautifully was just find that right amount to be just far enough away so that you are the first person on your team to get that ball. And especially on offense, a lot of teams like to utilize the backboard. We talk about the backboard all the time. One thing that Orbit showed in this game is utilizing your teammates first before using the backboard, so relying less. We saw a play where Turtle, instead of going off the backboard, we see so many 1v2 situations where you've got one player sitting in the net and you've got three options. One, shoot on net, which most of the times players will block because they're waiting for it. They're positioning themselves. Two, go off the backboard to try to beat that defender. And a lot of times you see players like Rizzo, he did such a good job making sure that nothing would go off the backboard. But then the other option is passing it far enough in front of the defender in net so that your teammate can get to it first. And we saw Turtle make that play in this series, and multiple times Orbit taking that option. And their offense is looking like the best in North America.
And plus that final game 5, Take-3 finally solved the Orbit shot problem. They only let up 2 shots in the game 5, but the problem is, at that point, the Orbit's up 3-1, and sure, like you can solve the shot problem a little bit, but the games are still going to be incredibly close, and Orbit just barely squeaks out that game 5, which is basically a coin flip game. But it's hard to win 3 coin flips in a row. When you're down 3-1, it's going to be a really difficult task, and they couldn't pull it out.
Yeah, Orbit showing true dominance as they did in league play. They were the #1 team coming out of league play, not slowing down one bit coming into the regional championships. Of course, they're going to be advancing on in the bracket. We haven't seen the last of Take-3 yet today. They're going to be playing in the 3rd, 4th place match. So you Take-3 fans, stay tuned. Still some money on the line for them. But our next match is going to be the next best of 7 to find out who's going to play against Orbit. It's going to be NRG versus Genesis, which should be absolutely amazing. Tell all your friends this is going on. Hashtag RLCS on Twitter, because we have a full day of Rocket League action in store for you. These are the best teams in North America, arguably the best in the world. As good as Orbit looked there, it's interesting to start comparing them against the European squads. But we are going to take a quick break from the Rocket League Championship Series. You're watching the Rocket League Regional Championships. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back.